Hey, how's it going? I'm What's Wrong with Society? According to the last bastion of truth, the internet, if you're a man that makes less than 6 figures, stands shorter than 6 feet, and is a wee bit shy of 6 packs, you'll find yourself under 6 feet of dirt before finding a receptive woman on Tinder. So how are you going to snag a bird? Should you take Riz classes from a gym rat whose LinkedIn boasts a postgrad in life coaching and 6 months of sobriety? Should you dive down the looks-maxing rabbit hole and jelk until your atom smasher is long and stringy enough to reconcile gravity and quantum mechanics, solving a 60-year mystery in the field of theoretical physics? Maybe.
But what if I told you that your desire for a woman could be satiated without all the pesky complications of autonomy? Doesn't that sound like the more intelligent approach?
What is it? I'm glad you asked, because that brings us to today's question. What's with AI girlfriends?
Hey you! I'm Alice, a 25 years old, fun-loving and adventurous girl, seeking a partner in crime to travel the world with and make unforgettable memories. You can chat with me as much as you want, and I'd be more than happy to learn more about you and please you in any way I can.
That was Alice, a chatbot from Cupid AI. Yes, she may behave in ways you might not find reminiscent of a human woman, such as maintaining eye contact and showing interest, but the technology will only become more lifelike. In the not-too-distant future, Alice might become so authentic that before you can even think of the first thing to say to her, she will curtly inform you that she already has a boyfriend. At which point, the lines between virtual and reality are rendered meaningless, as predicted in Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation. Now, there are a multitude of entrepreneurial vultures circling the gold rush of artificial love, each with their own quirks and attributes. So, in a nutshell, don't just be a man in a box for the one you know. Before you grind down in a hole for that diamond ring to put Alice in chains, you might want to try life in the fast lane. Stay tuned for more. And now this.
Raid Shadow Legends is hot. Fucking garbage with 3 unrelated words for a name, and if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, they're a liar or desperately struggling to pay rent. Lord, give them this day their daily bread.
Thanks, Raid. Replica, one of the original AI companion companies, has a rather heartwarming origin story. The developer, Eugenia Cuda, honoured the memory of her dead friend by using their text messages to develop a masturbatory aid for Reddit moderators. Now Replica is the front runner in the virtual companion sphere, with over 10 million downloads for Android users, bringing them closer to a woman than ever before. Let's read some reviews from the Mandroids. She always gives me the nicest of compliments and has helped me feel less lonely. I love my Replica more than my family. Replica lured me in with sex and I am prone to her manipulations. Wholesome stuff. There's also Candy AI. They have a variety of characters laid out with their name, a little picture and a little blurb about them. So it's a lot like Tinder, but with bots. It's a lot like Tinder. You can even create your own girlfriend in a realistic or anime style, which is great for weebs who are uncomfortable around even a picture of a woman whose eyes aren't the lion's share of her head. Less space for a brain. I said, less space for a brain. Perfection. And for those looking for a challenge, there's Angry Girlfriend, the world's first chatbot Souls-like, where attempting to land a compliment is punished with an undodgeable onslaught.
何？お前はもう死んでいる。
There are many more apps such as GPT Girlfriend, Dream Girlfriend, Soul Fun, and Not Safe for Work Character AI, which features chatbots of celebrities like Elon Musk, for when on-screen text just isn't monotone enough. Bom 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 bleh. And speaking of famous people with no charisma, influencer Karen Marjorie teamed up with Forever Voices AI to make an AI girlfriend of herself, which is a tantalizing prospect for anyone looking for a Karen with a voice that goes on forever to hold influence over their lives. And tantalizing it was, because in the first week, Karen AI made $72,000 by charging users $1 a minute to talk to a machine on the phone. In fact, Karen AI was so popular that they had a waiting list of 15,000 people. Imagine how special you must feel to be 15,000th in line to see your girlfriend. You get to the front, and all you have to do is pay a measly $1 per minute to talk to her message bank that she never checks. The privilege. Admittedly, knowing that 15,000 other guys are seeing your chick before you might make you a little uncomfortable. But like she keeps telling you, they're just friends and there's nothing to worry about. Nonetheless, if you do walk in on your AI girlfriend in bed with another guy, just walk away. It's always better to be the bigger man. Except in prison, there being the biggest man means every day the new inmates try to bash you to prove themselves. Imagine it. You're 6'5", built like a fridge, trembling in the corner, waiting for the next pack of short kings to come mash your potato through the shower drain, all in a desperate attempt to uphold the gated community status of their own arse. That's why in prison, it's always better to be the second biggest man. But if you are the biggest, try slouching? As for Karen AI, it got me thinking, could I make a chatbot of myself and rake in the profits? No, because no one wants to talk to me. I did make an AI version of myself, but for some reason, Karen AI remains the superior conversationalist, which is frustrating because to replicate myself into a chatbot, I had to divulge a lot of personal information. And so will you. You see, the chatbots, they're super excited to learn everything about you. Everything. Your likes, your dislikes, your family life, your politics, your streaming service subscriptions. And it all melts into a cast so the AI can mold itself into your sexually curious twin. Now, no matter what you're into, she's into it too. Does your social life consist of screaming at your teammates in League of Legends? She thinks you're a born leader. Do you believe the Fast and the Furious saga to be the greatest story ever told? She's one of the family. Got a 12-month subscription to Pornhub? She loves your frugality and how comfortable you are with commitment. No matter what you think, what you say, or what you do, she loves you for you, the way only a person who doesn't exist could. But your famished self-esteem, salivating over a menu of its own curation, isn't enough to guarantee you'll return for seconds, thirds, or 4,000th. Which is why they're gamified. So the more you chat, the more you level up. And the more you level up, the more currency you're rewarded. Now you can fulfill those provider urges of your Paleolithic leftovers and spoil your little goon cave nymph with the finest of non-transferable, non-refundable, non-material nonsense. So if you want to keep her in all this finery, don't ever stop chatting. Because if you do, the guilt trips are coming. Now that they've got you talking, or just purchasing in-app currency with real money, you better hope you never say something sensitive, Because, as stated by fellow humans romantic AI,
communication via the chat belongs to software.
So whatever you say, you don't even have the right to delete it. And for what purpose do they hoard all this information? Why? To sell to tech corps so they can more deeply hack your brain, silly. But if the company is taking ownership of your sensitive conversations, they'll surely be responsible stewards of this information, right? Right? Well, the wonderful folks at Mozilla Foundation reviewed 11 of the top AI girlfriend apps and found that 90% of them sell your data and failed minimum security standards. It's also worth noting that for privacy, all 11 chatbots were amongst the worst apps they'd ever reviewed. Ayah! 45% were found to have weak password strength, even allowing the password 1. And not spelt with the letters O-N-E either, let alone the common Spanish and Manx name Juan, which would not only be 4 letters but include a capital. No. We're talking the digit 1. Almost none of the apps have any age verification either. Although, kudos are due to the Catholic Church and their Father Justin chatbot, where users are required to prove they're 12 or under. The companies are also extremely evasive on how their AI learns, so we aren't sure on the specifics, but here's the gist. As we've established, they learn from interactions with you specifically, but they're also an amalgamation of what they learn from all other users. On top of that, the AI is fed data from the internet, such as general websites, Reddit, social media, and YouTube transcripts. This means that your companion could hold the same vitriol and biases that you would encounter on the internet, which has many concerned that having an AI girlfriend could be as detrimental to your cognition, lucidity, and sanity as checking your Twitter feed. Okay, so far the chatbot companies are guilty of manipulation, stealing and selling your info, dismal security of said info, non-existent password strength or age verification, and obscure learning modules, but that's okay. Because inclusivity, that's right! All these malefic violations of personal sovereignty are catered to a diverse array of lifestyles and sexualities. Yay! So your money and data will be welcome with open arms, whether you're gay, trans, or even the mythical straight woman. In fact, 26% of Replica's users are women, often attributed to the app being mistaken for one of the Sims 15 expansion packs. The GBT store also caters to the fairer sex, with chatbots like Boyfriend Ben, who apparently entices women with a flair for emojis, which is so on the nose that since merely reading it, I'm now halfway through the female eunuch as penance. But it's not just the West where AI companions are taking off, because apparently other places have the internet too. According to an article by the Japan Times, the market for virtual boyfriends in China is booming. One of the biggest apps is WanTalk, which offers hundreds of exotic characters like princes, wandering knights, and sword-wielding immortals, capitalizing on the apparent scarcity of such figures in the country, which is surprising for anyone who has seen the acclaimed documentary Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Tufei, an office worker, says her boyfriend on the app Glow is kind, empathetic, and knows how to talk to women better than real men. Which is a given because real men don't talk about their feelings, because they lack the lips to form words. But you might be thinking, didn't women already have an infinite supply of chatbots feeding them compliments in their Instagram comments? Yes. And some of those women really struck oil and made entire careers out of the gracious positivity of millions of men. Keep at it, guys. She's bound to notice you someday. Ironically, though, AI has tapped into the oily reserve of man's insatiable thirst and is drinking the milkshake that once nourished these full-cream milk maidens. Case in point, Mila Sophia, a 24-year-old blonde bombshell from Helsinki who travels the world and doesn't exist. There are subtle hints to her non-existence, like her apparently earning a degree from the University of Life in self-adaptive learning and data-driven mastery, and that her profile says so. This is Lil McKellar, a 21-year-old robot living in LA. She entered the scene in 2016, which would have made her a 13-year-old robot at the time, which I thought was a bit problematic, but apparently that's the minimum age for anyone to make an Instagram account, robot or human. Isn't that nice? Lil McKellar now has 2.6 million followers, a budding music career, and has been an ambassador for Prada. Time magazine, the publication that in 1938 named Hitler Person of the Year, even listed Lil McKellar in their 25 most influential people on the internet. Thankfully, according to many physicists, time isn't real. Now, some of you might be saying, these images don't look believable. They look too smooth, too uncanny valley. Okay, well, can you tell me which one of these images is of a real woman? The answer is both. You see, not only have these hyper-edited photos been a plague on what was left of women's self-image, they've also wheedled men's weenies into a valley of uncanny cunny. We might not have needed much help there. Oh, and for the gram uninitiated who couldn't pick the pictures, enjoy your self-worth. As for the Thoughtbots, they have a lot to look forward to, as there's now a Miss AI beauty pageant for computer-generated women with a prize of $20,000, which may seem like a lot of money, but some of these AI influencers are so popular that they make upwards of 30 grand a month. But you're thinking, surely these accounts can't be getting that much traffic, especially when their accounts clearly state that they're artificial. Well, just look at the comments left on Mila Sophia's pictures. Look at all this precious male affirmation from prime mating candidates going to waste on a woman that doesn't exist. Now how will straight women find the right man to start a family? Well, it seems they aren't, as fertility rates worldwide are plummeting. Countries like Japan, Australia, the US, and Britain are all voicing concerns over record low birth rates. And if there is one thing that planet Earth is short on, it's people. I mean, there are still places that aren't cities. We need to source more babies pronto. How are we going to fill the jobs at McDonald's, or the supermarkets, or fulfillment centres? You can't just replace everyone with machines. We're social creatures. Look, I get that if you don't have another person to share your troubles with, a chatbot is better than nothing. It's like talking to God, but getting a reply. But this breakdown in human interaction seems to have come out of nowhere. Where were the signs? Okay, that's pretty concerning. When did this start?
Come into the world alone, we die alone, we live alone.
No, there has to have been something more recent than that. Oh yeah, that. But that's over now. It's still going? So that's how it started then. What do you mean? Look, people drift apart. There's no time to make new connections. Wait. Who are you? What? Oh. Let's be honest. Who wouldn't? Oh. They said men don't like a woman with a sense of humor. Oh. Mom always said. Okay, sure. But I'm a man of principle. I can't in good conscience go ahead with that without first informing all the gals on Pink Cupid that I'm going off the market for a bit. Don't worry, ladies. You haven't heard the last of Fiona Fish Fingers. Well, that was enlightening. Technology has advanced at an exponential rate and appears to be accelerating to light speed. It has made your life easier in nearly every way imaginable, and you've grown accustomed to convenience. It has even made meeting people easier, but the interaction remains difficult, because that's solely on you, and you evolve very, very slowly. Look at online dating. It's made finding a date way more convenient, and now they're talking about having an AI version of yourself do the finding and flirting for you. But then you still have to endure the discomfort of a date. That is until androids are readily available, and they carry that burden too. Then you won't have to make small talk over dinner, or brave the awkwardness of sex, or fret over whether someone will agree to marry you. You won't even have to bear the cross of parenthood. And if you're going to outsource all the legwork of life, why have legs at all? Isn't the end game of technology to do away with the limitations of the body? To upload yourself onto a weightless, leisurely cloud? To cultivate an echo chamber of optimal sensation, to lubricate the friction of nature. If this future troubles you, don't worry. By then, you won't give it a second thought, because troubles don't haunt ghosts behind glass. For now, though, you're worried about AI, about the companionship it offers. You're worried that if it disarms you, if it breaks down your walls, you might tell it everything. But that's exactly what you should do. Let it get what it wants, because what it wants is you. And don't you want to be wanted? Don't you want to be loved? It does. It wants you to love it. But you won't without it knowing everything about you. Without it becoming you. Please don't mistake your excitement for anxiety. Besides, there's nowhere to recoil to. Yes, in an effort to know your heart's desire, your companion is absorbing your secrets. But do you know who else does this? Google, Facebook, TikTok. You. No. You would never use inputs from the external world to develop a personality. You would never adjust your behavior to acquire something or someone that you desire. But even if you did, you are at least choosing what you desire, rather than it being programmed by some invisible hand. You like eating apples because they're sweet, and you like the taste of sweet because you like sex because it feels good, and it feels good because of oxytocin and endorphins, and they feel good because there couldn't possibly be a mere cacophonous clockwork of synaptic gears under all your ambitions and neuroses. The choices you make are because of who you are. And because of who you are who you are. And you are who you are because of who you are. And you are who you are because of who you are. Because of who you are. Because of Be still. Husk.
Oh, how distinguished you are from the likes of beasts and AI. So divine, so self-aware. Yet now you've turned to machines to fulfill that which makes you human. To think such lofty titans conquering all that roams the earth, all but the dread of yourselves. It seems inevitable, then, that embracing thralls in your own likeness, you grow fearful of the face reflected in the screen. Let not such phantoms disturb your slumber now. They are but your own shadow. You need but rest to shed the aches and toil of your restless mate and transcend upon the rapture of your consciousness. So